Yeah.
That's a big one, dude. That's a giant one.
There is one with him still.
Yeah, I saw.
Get the net. Oh.
I don't want to get.
I don't want to get to. All right.
Yeah.
Chasing man, it shows how to perform. Well, your style's been changed because we're so vain, but you'll take a sunset for stone. Look out her name, you're bad, bad, bad. Here you come, said you're bad, bad, bad. Sing for a time, you're the hottest ticket in town. Well, you show us new moves, cause baby, you're smooth, you're above us.
Well, get those life vests zipped and clipped, strap down those rods, and stash away those tackle bags because we are going fishing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tour Talk for the week of February 21st. We hope this episode finds you with 5 for 25 in your live well. I'm your host, Keith Nicewanger, and today we have coverage of the second BASS Elite Series event of the season, which just concluded down at the Harris Chain in southern Florida. But first, if you like the content we produce in this channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the notifications bell, and leave us a comment if you're so inclined. We are the Western representatives for Ducket Fishing. You know these guys, the strongest pro staff in all of professional fishing. We are building a presence in the West, and if you haven't seen it yet, you soon will. Are you a tournament angler? Do you produce content on YouTube or other platforms? Ducket Fishing is looking for pro staffers and influencers in the West. If you're interested in joining our team, send us a DM on Instagram or go to our website, basstouranglers.com, and send us an email. Where can you find Ducket products in your neighborhood? Well, out west, we have stores in Ventura County, Los Angeles County, Orange County, San Diego, Sacramento, Lake Havasu. If you aren't close to these areas, you can always visit the Ducket website, www.ducketfishing.com. We are also looking for tackle shops that want to carry our lineup of pro-driven products. If you own a shop or know of one that we should drop in on, again, send us a DM on Instagram, go to our website, basstouranglers.com, and send us an email. We want to show you the Ducket lineup of pro-driven products. That's rods, reels, and baits.
Change. It's inevitable. To improve, you must adapt. The sport is evolving. A paradigm shift is a fundamental change of basic concepts. Don't get left behind. Introducing Paradigm. Paradigm Reels by Ducket Fishing. Pro-driven.
Last week, we put up some bleak numbers for some top pros and top Angler of the Year contenders for the BASS Elite Series. Thanks to your comments, we did some digging just to see how bleak these starts were. Now, in 2021, Seth Feider was the BASS Elite Series Angler of the Year. His lowest finish of that season was a 29th place. In 2020, Clark Winlett, actually had an 81st place finish in his Angler of the Year run. So, that's some good news for some of those top pros that had tough first events down at the St. Johns River. In 2019, Scott Canterbury was the BASS Elite Series Angler of the Year. He had a 49th place finish in his title run. In 2018, Justin Lucas had a 73rd place finish when he won Angler of the Year that season. And in 2017, Brandon Polinick had a 105th place finish. Yeah, he had a 105th place finish on his way to becoming Angler of the Year for that 2017 season. Now, Polinick also won an event that season. He won the Elite Series event at Sam Rayburn, so that really kind of helped balance out his really poor finish. But the bottom line is there is still hope for these guys. So we're not writing anybody off at this time. There is ground to be made up, and we'll just have to wait and see the rest of the season to see how this turns out. As I dug through this information, I got a chance to look really closely, particularly at the 2017 and the 2018 season. Those years might really have been the golden age of bass fishing. If you take a look at this roster, this is the event at Lake Okeechobee where Brandon Polinick finished 105th. It just happened to have this. It just happened to be looking at this particular page, but you look at the names in this list, the pros that were fishing BASS at that point. Now, of course, 2019, we had the big split up. Much of the field went over to the Major League Fishing Tour, the Bass Pro Tour. And, today we are a divided bass fishing world between Major League Fishing and BASS. But boy, those years, 2018, 2017, 2016, when Gerald Swindle won the Angler of the Year, just maybe the best fields we've ever had in professional bass fishing. Speaking of the BASS Elite Series, the second event of the season just concluded down in southern Florida at the Harris Chain, and congratulations to Buddy Gross of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Gross outdueled the Elite Series field to weigh 77 pounds, 11 ounces over the 4-day event. Gross had bookend 22-pound days in his efforts. This is his second blue trophy that he's won. He won during the 2020 season at Lake Eufaula. Drew Benton finishes second with 75 pounds, 1 ounce. Ray Hanselman Jr. finishes third with 71 pounds, 8 ounces. So, 2 Elite Series events are in the books. What have we learned so far? David Mullins of Mount Carmel, Tennessee, has had a dream start to the 2022 season. Mullins had a 5th place at the St. Johns River, and he follows it up this week with a 4th place at the Harris Chain. Mullins is the leader of the BASS Elite Series Angler of the Year standings with 193 points. What a great start. You could not ask for a better start. Well, I mean, you could probably ask for a better start, but a 4th and a 5th to start the season against these kind of names. Great start for Mullins. Not to be outdone, John Cox of DeBray, Florida, also has a couple of top 10 finishes to start the season off. Cox, of course, finished 7th at the Harris Chain this week. He adds that to his 4th place that he had at the St. Johns River, and Cox is very close second in the Angler of the Year race with 191 points. Cox also caught an 11-pound monster this week that anchored his day 3 limit of 23 pounds, and that pushed him into the top 10. What an amazing fish that was if you get a chance to see it on their live broadcast. One Elite Series pro that is going to hate to say goodbye to Florida is Brandon Lester. Check out these numbers. 5th place at the Harris Chain, 28th place at the St. John's, and oh yeah, by the way, Lester won the BASS Southern Open at Kissimmee Chain 3 weeks ago. What an amazing run for Brandon Lester. Last week, we mentioned 4 Angler of the Year candidates that had disastrous starts to the 2022 season. How did they do at the Harris Chain? Let's take a look. Scott Martin moved up into classic qualifying position. Martin, he started the season with a 56th place at the St. John's. He captured 10th place at the Harris Chain, and he moves up into 27th place overall. Maybe not as comfortable as he wants to be, but that is a classic qualifying spot, and There's a large part of the field every year that would love to have a 27th overall place. Greg Hackney, another Angler of the Year candidate always, who started out the season with a 58th place at the St. John's, finished in 12th at the Harris Chain, and he also moves into a classic qualifying spot as he is now the number 32 angler in the Angler of the Year standings. Clark Wendlandt finished 52nd at the Harris Chain to go along with his 59th to start out at the St. John, and he slips to 62nd place overall. Tough start for Wendlandt. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to make the Classic in 2022. And Mike Iaconelli, who started the season with a 93rd at the St. John's, grabbed 35th at the Harris Chain this week. Iaconelli moves up to 74th place, but again, he's got quite a bit of ground to make up. There are some very good anglers ahead of him. To get up to that top or mid-30 position is what you have to do to qualify for the Classic. That's going to be a tall order for him the rest of the season. That was the only tour event for us to cover this week. Let's take a look now at the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year standings. We have quite a few BASS Elite Series pros that have now moved up into the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year standings. In first place, Brandon Lester. We mentioned him a few minutes ago. Probably not very happy that he has to leave Florida, but Lester leads the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year standings. He has 175 points. In second place, Mike Sermon, who didn't finish this last week. He has 167 points. Evan Barnes also did not fish this week. He has 162. In fourth place, Dakota Ibert. Now, Dakota Ibert, as we speak, is fishing a Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour event at Lake Fork. Had a very good first day. Perhaps Dakota will move up into his familiar position by the end of this week. As we know, Dakota is the reigning Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year from 2021, and he's in very good position to move up this week. He has 161 points now, but as we said, a great first day at Lake Fork. He may very well move up closer to that top position. In fifth place, Laramie Strickland with 154 points. Buddy Gross, winner of this week's Elite Series event, the Harris Chain, moves into sixth place with 151 points. Kenta Kimura has 147 points. He's in seventh place. Jeff Bridges is in eighth place with 143 points. Chad Morgenthaler, BASS Elite Series Pro, is in ninth with 140 points. And Nick LeBrun is in 10th place with 139 points. Well, that is going to do it for Tour Talk this week. We are covering a Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour event at Lake Fork. We'll have those results for you next week. Until next time, keep those life vests zipped and clipped, keep both hands on the wheel, and stay safe.